Hey, thanks for joining me on my series where I'm sharing recipes from the bakery my mom and I owned for 26 years. Today I'm doing peanut butter cookies. This is an incredibly simple recipe and it's easy to work with. The dough was one of my favorites to scoop because it just went by so quickly. When you're doing massive batches and scooping hundreds and hundreds of cookies, you'll love the ones that are easy. It can be baked immediately after you make the dough. You don't even have to chill it. You can chill it. You can freeze the balls like I showed you in the sugar cookies and then just bake them as you need them also. All right, let's go. All right, as always, we're gonna start by creaming our fats and sugars before we add eggs and vanilla. I've got a cup of butter, a cup of sugar, and a cup of packed brown sugar. And then I'm gonna add 1 1/4 cups of peanut butter or 320 grams. You can measure that however you like to measure peanut butter. Sometimes doing like a negative on a scale is easiest. Put the whole jar on there and take 320 grams out. And I will say this recipe is very forgiving with the peanut butter. If you add too much peanut butter, it's still gonna work out. Not if you double it, but if you're over a little bit, don't worry about it. Now we're just gonna get that in the mixer and get it mixed up. This is nice and creamy. We're gonna add vanilla and 2 eggs and get that combined all together. I'll probably scrape the sides down once to make sure it's all incorporated. It should look like this, nice and creamy and all combined. Now we just add our dry ingredients and mix it for about a minute. We've got flour, let me see how much. 2 3/4 cups of flour, or I did 14 ounces if you prefer weight, a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of soda, and it goes. And it just comes together super quickly. As always with any cookie dough, always make sure you scrape it from the bottom. Sometimes you'll have a thinner dough or clumps of butter that you're gonna wanna mix in, otherwise your cookies are gonna run and not be great. And if you didn't see my sugar cookie video, I'll show you how we scoop them. I always put extra dough in the scoop and then I take kind of the ball of my hand there and press it down where it's level. These do need to be flattened a little bit and then I dip a top in a little bit of sugar. And you want to get that classic peanut butter mark. Just take a fork and press down. Alrighty, and here they are out of the oven and nice and cool. Peanut butter cookies, the pretty marking on the top, and just a delicious cookie. It's not some super gourmet, difficult to make, over-the-top cookie. It is a classic, delicious peanut butter. What you would expect when you walk into a real bakery, to have affordable, delicious, homemade treats. All of our cookies were kind of that way. Most of our fancy stuff was decorated stuff, and we did have some fancier recipes, but mostly just really, really delicious treats that felt like you'd made them at home, except you didn't have to have a messy kitchen from making them at home. So I hope that you guys enjoy these.